Okay, so that was Radha. She was telling us about the advantages of tweaking our existing systems as opposed to reconfiguring and investing in a completely expensive reconfiguration. So next we have bringing our next speaker on board. We have with us Moutan Sarkar, who's going to be talking about cyber forensics. Hi, Moutan. Good evening. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm doing great.
Good
How
to
are
have
you
you back
doing?
with us. I'm fine, thank you. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can go ahead and set up your screen share while I tell the audience a little bit about you. Okay, so Moutan is a fraud and forensic expert with TCS, that's Tata Consultancy Service. A little bit about Moutan. Moutan is a young woman in the field of cybercrime investigation. She has a master's in computer science with working experience of 8+ years in the field of digital crime investigation training and cyber forensics. She has worked with SVP National Police Academy, a premier training academy for IPS officers, the Ministry of Home Affairs, Govt of India, and interned with the CID uh, of the Telangana Police in Hyderabad and CFSL, Hyderabad. For the last 3 years, she is serving TCS in fraud management and digital forensics. She has worked on e-discovery with a global bank in identification, collection, and preservation of critical data that forms part of e-discovery in cases like Panama Papers and Libor case. Security Operations Center, Identity Management, and Access Management. She has trained more than 40,000 youths. Ms. Moutan is certified in Advanced Cyber Forensics Expert from CDAC and Access Data Mobile Examiner, Access Data, and has also published research papers in international journals. She has been a winner of state-level debates and awarded by then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, K. Rosaya, and has been twice nominated as a national winner has been a twice national winner for paper presentations. She is a regular guest speaker at various law enforcement agencies, universities, and IEEE conferences. Apart from her professional life, she is an active member of Youngistan Foundation and a fitness enthusiast. With that, hand the stage over to you, Moutan. We all look forward to listening to your talk. Over to you, Moutan.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Aditya. So let's come up and let's start with cyber forensic. I'm going to share a lot of case studies which I have been working with law enforcement agencies and how we deal with digital data. And cyber forensic, it's about red team and blue team. So I'm going to share with you how from a digital investigator's point of view and also from an end user, how do we protect our data. So, and coming to forensics, let me tell you, coming to anything cyber security or cyber forensic, there are three things which we have to take in we have to consider. It's not only technology, that if you are an expertise or you're very tech savvy, you're going to crack all the cases. So cyber forensic or being a digital detective, it's a combination of three things. The first is technology. You have to know technology. Second is psychology. You also, after mastering technology, you should be sure, you have to, everything is a mind game. So you have to be strong with psychology. So technology, psychology, and law. Now laws, we have Information Technology Act, we have privacy law, we have a lot of laws around. So, if you're a digital forensic investigator and you go and you seize the evidence and you start investigating, you also have to make sure that, any privacy laws are not being implemented on you, or what are the, you have to be very sure with all types of digital law, Information Technology Acts. So it's a combination of psychology, technology, and law. Coming to next, what else okay, today's agenda. So we're going to see about real life cases, digital forensic, types of forensic, and how are the tools and what all things we need for forensic. Earlier, as an investigator, as a digital forensic expert, we used to have a reactive approach. All security, we all are like cyber security experts, we have a reactive approach. There's a breach, then we react on it. There's somebody's system got compromised, we go and react on it. So earlier it was reactive approach. Then with the advances of technology, we came up with proactive approach. So from reactive approach, we came to proactive approach. And now it's time that proactive approach is also outdated. You have to go with predictive approach. We have to think what is going to happen tomorrow, what is going to happen the next moment. Every day there are new phones, new versions of operating system releases. When I was in school, maybe in 9th or 10th grade, we had our computer lessons, and we were taught, what is the configuration of supercomputer. So we have to write in exams, you have to learn and go, and what are the configurations of the supercomputer. What I have learned in my school, now my mobile phone, my smartphone is much more comes with a more high-end configuration with memory, speed, and processor and all. So what, maybe after 5 years back or 7 years back, what I learned as a supercomputer, the same configuration is there in my hand now. We all have mobile phones. It's a new body part now. So technology is advancing so fast. I'll just tell way back in college when we were using those black and white mobile phones, that time, if everybody had those small black and white phones, your Nokia, or so that time when anybody had a smartphone, so we used to think, okay, this person might be a big shot, he has a touch phone and all. But now data is so vulnerable. Our data is our data gets compromised so easily. If anyone is using that small phone which doesn't have that port to connect to your PC, we say that, okay, this person might be a big shot, he might be a classified person, or he works for some intelligence service, he works in intelligence services and all. So this is how fast technology is growing or speeding up. So from reactive approach to proactive approach, and now we have to go ahead with predictive approach. So how generation of crime is changing? 8,000 years back, we had Stone Age man. During the Stone Age time, fellow humans used to kill humans or kill animals using stones. So after 8,000 years, then came the Iron Age. In Iron Age time, we made arrows, spears, sharp iron weapons. That is how crime used to take place. Then came the 14th century. Then we had the Industrial Revolution in the 20th century, where we had guns, we had machine guns, we had cannons and all those things. Now, in the 21st century is a digital age. So all our bullets have got old-fashioned now. So it's all about bits and bytes. We all might be aware of Stuxnet. Stuxnet is a worm which could just shut down the nuclear power plant of Iran. So a small carelessness of employee over there could shut down the complete nuclear power plant. Just imagine, it got just shut down. What would have happened if the centrifugal rotations or some other changes would have done, and there would have been an explosion. So a single bit and byte have the power to start an nuclear power war. Means cyber war. We had World War I, World War II. We never know the third one, or the next is cyber war. So this is how the generation of crime is changing. So coming to next crime scene, do not cross. So cyber forensic, it's not only for the government agencies or law enforcement agencies. Now we have generally in corporates, if something gets compromised, we generally don't want to go to government, or we are not willing to file a complaint, because your brand value is at a toss, your image, your reputation, everything goes for a toss if it gets leaked out that there is an attack or there is something. So forensic, most of the companies are having their own forensic teams or investigating groups and all. So I'll just share a few examples over here. We all are aware of logic bomb. You know how bombs work. We have this timers, and this time, this date, this time, this date, the bomb would explode. So generally, we know the type of hackers we have. We have script kiddies. We have state-funded agencies, state-sponsored agencies, and we have disgruntled employees. Who are these disgruntled employees? Maybe I'm working so hard with my company. I work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and then when it comes to my appraisal, my manager, my boss says that, okay, Moutan, you have not put enough effort to your work. This time you work hard better. Next time I'll give you better ratings. So what I know I have to resign from this company, and I'm walking out to a better company with a better package. What I do, I know for the complete 1 year, I have put so much of effort. I just don't want my all this effort to be used by my teammates and all. So I don't have to be very techy. I just write a command where I just wipe out all the databases and all the codes and scripts I have maintained. But yes, I don't trigger it now. What I do, I know I'm just resigning after 2 months. I serve my notice period of 2 months, and after 2 months, randomly, I just say that this script would trigger when today is 28th, so I will say that it will trigger on 1st April. I just write trigger when date and time of the system clock is equal to 1st April 2021, and I just give a time to it. And that particular day, when everything gets vanishes, the database is wiped out, the scripts all are gone. When the team is investigating, they won't even doubt me, because I don't have my physical accesses, my cards won't swipe all my accesses, and everything gets revoked. So these are called logic bombs. So forensic comes into picture here in cases where when a person is not even having access, but still something, maybe a 3-4 line script, I just write off, wiping off everything, and I just put it for date and time. All these things happen when forensics comes into picture. Here now I'm just giving you examples of what are the cases. Coming to the forensic part, I will just tell you how do we investigate all those things. You don't have to use high-end tools, or you don't have to write scripts or investigate at a very deeper level. They are just small techniques. I just say a simple technique. When I was working with CID, we got a laptop, and then we could see lots of Word documents. We just new Word, Microsoft new Word document, bracket 1, 2, 3, and there are a lot of new documents which were not named. And when I tried opening up and clicking, I saw that there's nothing. They are all blank documents, and we were investigating that laptop. Then I couldn't see anything, just blank Word documents. The same file, when we use certain tools like FTK, Forensic Toolkit, or other, in case, what we found that the user who was a young, a novice user, what he had done, he had written all the documents in Word, and he had not named the Word document. And after that, he had changed the color of all the words into white. So when I double clicked and checked it, it was a new document, and everything looked blank. He was so smart that he had also gone and unchecked the spell error. Generally, if there are spell errors, what happens? We get those red underlines. So though nothing is there, but if I get red underlines, I would get a hint that there's something. So that person, a very small technique, he just changed everything into white color and just removed the spell error. So just small technique, and he could save all the secret information which he didn't want others to know about it. There was also, these are very small things. There was also a case where we have this extension, file extension, .pdf, .doc, .excel. So what we have you might have never tried doing it. If you just know that this is a PDF document, you just go rename the file, let the name be file, and after dot, change .pdf to .doc. The icon will also change to the DOC icon, and when someone else tries to double click and open it, they will not find anything. It would just give a message that this file is corrupt. So these are all these are all hiding techniques which are very small, but when you use forensic, they all come out. Coming to the next slide. Okay. Okay, reality check. So I'll just share some more examples over here. We all are aware of metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is data about the data. So maybe if I have my photos, so I just share one of my photo with Aditya. So he will just get my photo. But at the back end, he will get to know a lot of things about that photo. He will know the make and the model of the camera, my latitude, my longitude, when was that click, at what time it was clicked, was it clicked using my mobile phone or is it sent from other make and model. So metadata is a lot of information about the data. So it's not only a photograph, it also comes up with lots of information of that data. So there was a case where there was a news channel. So that news channel was claiming that the journalist of that channel had lived with insurgent Naxals. So he was just trying to. The media was trying to say that the journalist have spent 7 days with Naxals. Naxal is insurgent group in India. So they said that that person has lived with Naxals and he had lived with them. They're just normal people like us and they eat like us. They just roam, but they just have few demands which the government is not agreeing on it and all. So they were just giving a lot of what you call coverage on the life of a Naxal and how this journalist has spent 7 days with them. So what happened? The law enforcement agency, they just contacted the media and that particular news channel and they just said that, can you please share the photos and videos with us? Then what happened? The news channel agreed and they shared the photo. What did police do? They just analyzed the metadata of all the photos and videos. They got the latitude and longitude. They placed it on the map. They got the complete route in which the journalists have traveled and where those insurgents are located. They are they are hilly terrain with dense forest. And immediately within 10 days, there was an operation done and which was very successful. Here, for law enforcement agencies, if you are into forensic, these are small things. You don't need tools. A lot of free tools are available where we can do a lot of things. You don't have to approach a government or approach any institution for this. We can do it all. A very small free tools. Metadata, to analyze metadata, we have ExifView, we have Helix. If you're working on your personal laptop or official laptop and you just feel that someone has inserted a pen drive and taken out files from your laptop, so there is a tool called Helix which is freely available. You just run that Helix in your machine and you'll get the complete list of pen drives, the make, the model, the serial number of pen drive, the date, time, when it was inserted, when it was taken off, and what duration. You get the complete details. So everything is already existing with you. You just have to dig in little. That is all about forensics. So few thrillers. Coming to other case studies. We have I'll just tell you a small case where there was a case in a city where a teenage girl was missing. So when police approached them, they asked the parents, like, do you suspect anyone? Where is your girl, where she might have gone and all. The parents said that no, they don't suspect anyone. And then police was clueless. They searched the complete area and she didn't have mobile phone with her, so they couldn't trace her back. After 10 days, when again police went and asked the parents, like, do you suspect anyone? Then the mother said that, yeah, there's a guy in the neighborhood. He used to just stare at my girl, but that is not in those bases. Just because he looked at my girl, I cannot say that I suspect him and all. So the police took that guy into custody and he asked, police interrogated him, do you know her and all. He very innocently denied that, no, she used to just go to school and come back. I don't know who she is. I never spoken to her and all. Then even a month passed and then there was no clue about it. Then what happened? All of a day, all of a sudden one day police enters that guy's house and they just take off his laptop. They don't do anything. They just do something. They just take the laptop and do Control H. Now, what is Control H? They just go and check the history of the computer. So what he had searched there is like how to drown a dead body. We all know that if the body is having life, it will drown in water, and a dead body will float up in the water. So he had searched how to drown a dead body. Immediately police had taken him in custody, and we know, without evidence, nothing works out. And then they started searching all the nearby water bodies of that city. And then the same day they have recovered the girl's body. And then, just by one Control H, a complete murder mystery was solved. So this is how forensic works out. Coming to digital forensic, let's get it. What is digital forensic? So it is the science of acquiring, analyzing, preserving, and documenting. All these 4 steps are very important. How do you acquire the data? Now if there is a conventional theft, if there's a conventional theft, for example, somebody has stolen my necklace. So if somebody has stolen my necklace, that necklace would be with the thief or the one who stole my necklace. So if my necklace is missing from my place, so it is not there with me, but it is there with someone else. But now, if someone has stolen my research paper, it's just an explanation of intellectual property, IP. So if someone has stolen my research paper, what happens then? The research paper is there with me, is there with the person who has stolen it, is there with another 20 person he has shared with. So the copy of my research paper is not missing from me, but it is also available with 100 other people. It shouldn't be with. So these are very common cases of piracies or copyright infringements or patents and all. So acquiring the data is very important. Are you acquiring it from the right source, or it is from someone who is innocent and all? So it is the science of acquiring. Acquiring also has, you have techniques of hashing. We all might be aware of hashing. It's we have hash standards like MD5, Message Digest 5, SHA-256 secure hashing algorithm. So if there is a cybercrime, and if there's a cybercrime and I have seized laptop, I have seized Naved's laptop. Now, when I have seized Naved's laptop, I present it in the court of law saying that, I just say that Naved has appeared, I have got some fake certificates. He has presented some fake certificates to get a new job. And those fake certificates, I have got it from his laptop, where he has used Photoshops and other softwares to edit his certificates and to attend an interview. So now, me being a law enforcement agency, I just seize his laptop and I just present it in the court of law. If I am not clear with my acquiring and analyzing technique, I present it in the court of law saying that I have found this Photoshop softwares and other softwares, modifying softwares, and the printer which is connected to his laptop. He has used all these things to produce fake certificates and attend an interview and got a job with a fat salary. So what Navid would counter me in the court of law? Navid would say, Moutan had some personal glitches with me. So Moutan had some personal glitch with me. So she has stolen my laptop. She has taken my laptop and she has inserted those files in my laptop. She has inserted Photoshop and other certificates, and she has manipulated it and presented in the court of law. So there, your judiciary will ask. They will just listen in yes and no's. They don't even listen for your explanations. I would say that in the court of law, where there's question and answer is going on, so I defend myself saying that if you check the document date and time, the date and time is backdated to the, it is prior to the date of seizure. On a particular date, I have seized Naved's laptop. So while preserving the laptop, I have to make sure, I have to fill the chain of custody. I have to make sure when I have seized the laptop, in whose presence I have seized the laptop. When I seize the laptop, I have to create the hash value. Hash is a digital signature, and it is digital signature which is monodirectional. Like if I have the hash value of it, from the hash value I cannot reverse back to the main document, because if I make a minute change also in the laptop, the complete hash would change, and if I undo the change, the hash would remain different. It would not go back to the back hash, because the date and timestamp, it is linked to it. It's a, what you call, mix of alphanumeric code, a 40-digit alphanumeric string. So I have to make sure I create the hash and I write it in the seizure memo, so that when they are interrogating in the court of law, I see that it has been untampered, because I have mentioned the hash value, and also I have taken the signs of the witnesses in front of whom I have taken the hash. But Navid can also counter me, saying that here you can see the date and time of the system. So if I go click on this date and time, and I change the clock, I can change the clock, and I can set it to maybe 10 days before, or maybe 1 year before. So if I change the date and time to 20 Jan 2020, whatever files I create today, it would not show today's time, because computer knows, for computer today is 20 Jan 2020. So these are the techniques how you have to, you being a prosecutor, public prosecutor, how you should be defending. And if what are the questions judiciary can ask you? Coming to preserving, now for sake, if you just consider yourself that you have seized some mobile phone, once you seize a mobile phone, you have to make sure you just cut it off from all the network, because we all know we have antiviruses in our mobile phones. So what happens if I lose my mobile phone? If I just I use an Android phone, and I just lost it somewhere. I am not sure if I have lost it or someone has stolen it and my data would get misused. So what I do, I just go to my Google dashboard, to the Gmail account my phone is linked with, my Android phone is linked with. I go to dashboard, Google dashboard from my laptop. I just give the details, the username and password, and I go and say encrypt my data. And I give the encryption key. I can also just say erase my data, and I just give the password to erase it off. So whenever you get whenever you seize a mobile phone, the first thing you have to do is you have to disconnect it from the network. You have to put it in a Faraday box or a Faraday Faraday bag, or you have to put it in aeroplane mode, flight mode, where it is not there in the data. You can put it in flight mode, provided you have the key, the pattern lock or the key lock. Or if you don't have a Faraday box, you don't have the key. In such cases, the aluminum foil we used to keep your food items hot. If you put your complete mobile phone in an aluminum wrap, it would work as a jammer. And then this is how you preserve your mobile data, until you send it to the forensic laboratory. And then documenting is equally important. I have already told you how we have to mention the hash values, the evidences. And one more thing, whenever you take a evidence, whenever you take a laptop, mobile or computer, and when you want to analyze it from an analyzer's point of view, you have to make sure that you put a write blocker to it. Write blocker is where it just allows simplex communication and not duplex communication. So this is all about acquiring, analyzing, preserving, and documenting. So data is hard to kill. This is data is hard to kill. This will just scare us about ourselves, how our data remains everywhere. Initially, when I was telling you about black and white phones, initially when we had those small phones with very small what do you call memory, we used to get messages that your inbox is full, please delete the messages. So your inbox can save only 20 messages. After every 5 messages, we used to clear the mobile phone. We used to keep make sure that until we clear it, other messages cannot come inside. But now with smartphones, I don't even remember when was the last time I deleted any messages. Even if I put my mobile phone with any web interface like Oxygen mobile kit or any other Mobi Edit recovery kit, I will get 7,000 to 17,000 messages from my phone because I have never deleted them. So now, even if I delete my messages or delete my photos or videos from my phone or from my laptop, the word delete is a myth. Delete never deletes it. There is a concept of MBR, master boot record. What it does is, like, it's just an index of a page. You have serial number, you have topic, and you have page number. So master boot record is something similar for your phone and your laptop. Serial number is your 1, 2, 3, 4. Topic is the name of the file. Maybe this is my forensic folder or I have other documents. So name is the folder. And here where you have page numbers, there it is the path. So if I delete something, it just removes the path and sends it to recycle bin. If I just delete it from the recycle bin, the path is left blank, but the data remains over there. Only the path is removed off. So if I use recovery tools or forensic tools, it's very fair enough that I will get all the data recovered. So the word delete is a myth. If you want to make sure that even formatting this doesn't delete anything, it just makes sure the path, the page numbers, the path is just wiped off, but the data and the serial number remains intact. So what you have to do, you have to wipe your phone or wipe your hard disk. Wiping is something like it is overwritten. So what happens? You have 1 TB space. So it just writes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you delete it, only the path is deleted. But when the space is completed, then the data starts overwriting the data. And that is when data is actually deleted. So deleting is not delete. I mean, the word delete is a myth. Wiping is when it gets deleted. I'll just close the session. I have a few more slides, but I'll just open it up for question and answers. I'm running out of time. Aditya? Should I continue or should I open it for
question and answers? We are out of time. We have the next. Yeah, we can do the question and answers. Okay, can you hear me, Moutan?
Yeah, I can hear you, Aditya. Do we have any questions?
So the first thing, I think I need to send Naveed's laptop to you to see what all he's been up to.
Sorry, please come again. I was just reading the chats.
I need to send Naveed's laptop to you to see what all he's been up to.
Along with his phone. Along with his phone.
Yes, I'll send you his phone and his laptop so we can see what all he's been up to. Okay, so we do have a couple of questions. Okay, now let me start off with what you had mentioned about how data is never deleted. Okay, so a lot of us, when we sell our mobile phones, we do something called a factory reset. Does that delete the data from your mobile phone before you hand it over to the next user?
It's you have to overwrite it. If you don't know how, the US agencies, they overwrite a phone or a disk 36 times. They say even if they overwrite it 1 or 2 times, they have technologies to retrieve the data. They have technology to retrieve data even from a broken hard disk. So technology is growing so fast. They say that if you have to sanitize a hard disk, you have to wipe it off. You have to wipe it off 36 times. So Naveed, for you, if Aditya is sending me your phone, you have to make sure if you're not getting your wiping tools, at least you load 50 movies in your phone and then delete them and again load 50 movies. That is how your all the data would be overwritten, and then maybe I would not find anything out over there. There are been cases where we have seen that there are, And there are also like intelligence agencies in airport. What happens there? You just scan your baggages. Sometimes they have this keyword search. You have your luggage, you have your laptop in your bag, and it just got scanned, and maybe there is a word called terrorist over there which is on their keyword searches. So they found that laptop. They will just ask you, sir, can you please come aside, we need to scan it again. They will take you out, they will take you to some other scanner, and then just for a minute they'll scan your laptop. In that minute of scan, all the data has been captured, your complete laptop has been cloned, and then they'll just say thank you, sir. And that, in that scanning, your complete data gets cloned, and then they sit and they start analyzing all your data with the keyword searches and all. So that much vulnerable that is how much vulnerable we all are.
Okay, so we're running out of time, so I'll quickly ask you two questions that we have. Okay, if a hacker is using a virtual hacking OS with IP and MAC address spoofed and connected in a public network using proxy chains and VPNs, both have been enabled, how difficult is it to track the hacker, or what is the possibilities of tracking the hacker?
It is very difficult.
Okay.
It is very difficult. Because suspects are always 2 steps ahead of investigators. I have seen from my own experience, I have learned a lot from the suspects. I would say, we have this conferences. Maybe in this conference, 4-day conference, you have 40 speakers, maybe 10 speakers a day. So the users will learn 40 new stories from all the 40 speakers. But if a suspect spends 1 year in jail, in an inmate, when he comes out, he has spent with 200 other inmates. When he comes out, he knows 200 new ways of bypassing police, because in that 1 year he'll be saying that I have done this mistake, that is how I got caught. I have made this call from my phone to my wife, and that is how they started tabbing her phone, and I am got caught. That is University of Prison is the biggest university in the world. When an inmate comes out, he comes out with 1,000 new ways of bypassing again. So suspects are obvious most of the time 2 steps ahead of it. Your VPN, your dark net, public IP, these are very difficult to track. So in those cases, I have earlier told, it's a mix of psychology, law, and technology. If technology is failing, you have to use your psychology. You have to understand the behavior of the person. You have to understand, maybe he's fond of movies. You send some movie link and get into him. So it's not impossible, but yes, it's very tough.
Okay, thanks for that answer. Last question, Moutan. If files transferred over a network can be reassembled and used as evidence, how can data security be ensured at all?
Data security, data privacy. Even when Radha was speaking, I heard, the word free is also a myth, all the free apps. Or with this, I'll tell you, dead dropping, maybe 5-6 years back, when terrorists were communicating, how they used to communicate is, suppose me and Aditya, we are both 2 terrorists, and we want to communicate and we don't want to get caught. So what I do, I create a Gmail account. I have the username and I have a password. I just meet Aditya somewhere personally, in person, and I share that this is the username, this is the password, this is how we're gonna operate. Then Aditya goes to some other state and I go to some other state. So I don't send mails to Aditya or send him messages. I just open the mail with the same password, I draft it and I keep it. Aditya will open the mail, he will read my draft and he will change it and just put it up, message the draft and keep it. In that sense, data is not passing from my mail to his mail and his mail to my mail. That is called dead dropping. So, any investigator who is trying to spoof us or spy on us will not get our data. So these techniques was used earlier because data is never safe. There are chances people may pick out of it, or people, every agency, Gmail, Facebook, Uber, Ola, they all have a nodal officer. That nodal officer is the only work of that nodal officer is to assess law enforcement agencies. Whatever cases they get or whatever information they get, that nodal officer will coordinate with them. So you never know what evidence would, what details or what logs are used against you as a evidence, because this dead dropping was used earlier to communicate. But now what happens? presently, if me and Aditya are trying to use dead dropping, but now the draft is getting saved in the server. So if the investigating officer is contacting Gmail, they will have the draft in the server. So we will be caught somehow. So this is how it all is. Yes, it can be used against you. Earlier, WhatsApp said that they don't have our data, it's all encrypted. WhatsApp always refused to coordinate with the law enforcement agencies, saying that data is not with us, it's peer to peer, and we don't have any servers and all. But we really don't know what is the truth is. Even incognito mode. We think that incognito mode is very safe. If I will do some things, and if I want to do something which I don't want others to know, I'll go to incognito mode and browse it. We all do that. But what happens? The law enforcement agencies may have 10,000 hits every day, and just 1,000 hits in incognito mode. So we are just narrowing down to, yes, okay, I am doing something suspicious, please have an eye on me. Because out of 10,000, they will not first analyze them. They will first analyze the 1,000 hits which are there in incognito, and then go to the normal browsing mode. So yes, you are not safe.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Moutan. Thank you first for making Ravi the forger and then me a terrorist. But we all enjoyed the talk. So thank you so much. We look forward to having you with us for our next session as well. So there are a couple of questions in the chat box. You can probably go in there and answer for them, because we're running out of time. I need to bring on the next speaker. So you can answer the questions in the chat box for the couple of people who do have the questions.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye. Keep staying.
Thank you, Moutan. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Physically and in cyberspace as well.
Bye, Moutan. Bye.
Bye-bye.